Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to start the second book of the month vlog of the month. These are going to be 3 newer released book of the month books, and I'm excited about all of them, just like I was in the last vlog. This is why I picked the books. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the books really quickly. So in this reading vlog, I am hoping to read the 3 additional books that I have on my physical TBR as of right this moment. That is the Many Lives of Mama Love by Laura Love Hardin. This is a memoir of this person's life and all of the craziness that ensues, and I will of course update you on initial thoughts and feelings and what the book is about as I get started with each one. So this is the first one I'm hoping to get to. This one I picked in August. Also in August I picked the new Lisa Jewell, None of This Is True. I have read quite a few Lisa Jewell books in my time. I don't have any currently on my TBR anymore. The one that I did have on my TBR, I unhauled it because I just wasn't really that interested in reading it anymore. I mean, I sort of kind of am, but Ralph's Party I unhauled, and then there was another one with an egg on the front. I was kind of sort of interested in that one, but I took it off for the time being because I wasn't, you know, that interested in it. There were tons of other books that I was more interested in, so it's in the unhaul pile over there, but you never know, it might make its way back onto my shelf. But anyway, this is Lisa Jewell's new thriller. I've been hearing nothing but good things, and I'm just really excited to get to it. This was my main August pick. And then my pick for September was The Stranger Upstairs by Lisa M. Matlin. I don't know if this is a debut. Okay, I'm not sure. It doesn't really say in the author bio, but it does say was a guitarist in a rock band before switching from songwriting to story writing. She lives in Melbourne, Australia with her husband, pug, and golden retriever. She's probably watched The Walking Dead right now, trying not to laugh at her own jokes. Matlin is a passionate mental health advocate and your dog's #1 fan. She looks young. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to this one. In the throes of prose. So these are the 3 books that I will be reading in this vlog. Hopefully, I don't know which one I'm going to start first. This one is probably the shortest, so I might start with that, but these are like August and this is September, so who knows? I'll let you know when I know. All right, I want to do a quick check-in because I already made it to page 65. I've read this much already. I don't know if you can see where my bookmark is, but I've already read a little chunk, and this story is already sucking me in big time. And Jessie has reading sprints tonight, so I can see myself possibly finishing this book tonight. But right now, okay, so the story opens and there are 2 women who are birthday twins. You have Josie and then you have Alex. Alex is like a famous like podcaster. She talks about like, I think her thing was something about women, like empowering women or something like that. But anyway, Josie gets her husband to take her to this like pub for her birthday, and it's her 45th birthday. And then she sees Alex come in the door and like with balloons and like a whole bunch of people and like assuming like her husband and stuff, and like sits down. She's like telling her husband like, oh my gosh, look, it's somebody else's birthday too. And then she starts getting gifts and she sees a card and she goes, oh my gosh, she's like 45 as well. And so when Alex gets up to go to the bathroom, Josie gets up to go to the bathroom too, and then like she walks in and she goes like, oh, you know, is it your birthday? Like, I'm your birthday twin and stuff like that. And immediately Josie like wants to know more about Alex and like Googles her, starts listening to her podcast, and then she approaches her and says, hey, I have an idea for a podcast for you to do. Why don't you, like, you always talk about women after the fact that they went from like rags to riches and they're doing well now. Why don't you talk about someone before that change has happened while it's in the process of happening? And Alex is like, you know, okay, like pitch the idea to me. So she does. She's like, I'm the person that you should be interviewing. And so Alex considers making an entirely new podcast called Hello, It's Your Birthday Twin or something like that. And she's going to be telling Josie's like life story, I guess, because she has some secrets to disclose. So far, it's very, very good. All right, I am currently tuned in to Jesse's reading sprints, but I had to come back here to my office because I have made quite a dent. I'm about maybe 40% of the way through it, I would say. I am on page 155, and y'all, I have so many questions. I think I already went through the basic setup that these two women are birthday twins, and one of them finds out that the other is this like famous podcaster and talks her into like kind of switching up her podcast and interviewing her and her family. There's just lots of things going on over there. She has 2 kids that I have a lot of questions about. Her and her husband I have a lot of questions about. Why she wears denim all the time I have questions about. And I'm just getting like weird vibes all around, but I'm absolutely loving it. The only thing that I don't love about the audiobook, it is a full cast. It's only a couple different narrators, but there's other people like during the podcast portions, and it's not actually podcasty. It's a Netflix original series right here. It says that. So it's called Hi, I'm Your Birthday Twin, which was going to be the name of the podcast. Well, that was the name of the podcast, but apparently they've made it into a Netflix original series. So for example, this is one of the ones that will say this, and then it'll say like this bit in italics, which is like setting up the scene, and then it will go into like a recording from Alex. Hold on, let me make sure it's zooming in here. A recording from Alex Summer's podcast on this date, and then it will actually have the transcript. This part is acted out in the audiobook, but this part is not, like the scene, the setup of the scene. So anytime that comes up, a portion of that comes up, I have to pause the audiobook to read that portion, then play it again. It's just like a little annoying thing. When you listen to a lot of audiobooks, you do like get a little bit picky about how things are narrated, what's included, what's not, and stuff like that. And that is kind of like one of my pet peeves, that isn't like in the audiobook narration, but that's like a super minor thing, and that has nothing to do with the story itself. So like I said, I'm really loving it. I'm flying through it. I think I'm gonna finish this tonight. First things first, I finished None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell last night. I stayed up to midnight finishing it. I basically started it at 6 p.m. and I finished by midnight, including breaks, reading sprints, chatting with friends, chatting with my husband, making dinner, eating dinner, watching TV. So I basically like zoomed through this book, and it's really, really good. Very page turning. It's fast paced. There's multiple elements to it. There is a podcast element to it, but more so there is a Netflix documentary, a Netflix original series that is based off of the podcast in here. The audiobook is really good. The characters are very interesting. And I really feel like this is a departure from Lisa Jewell's other books. So I feel like if you are a Lisa Jewell stan, then you may have like a difficult time adjusting to this new kind of format, story. She even talks about it in the acknowledgements, about how it is kind of a different book for her, but it's so interesting. And I don't want to share too many of my thoughts here because me and Jesse are going to be on Sam's book club at the end of the month on September 27th, I believe at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Riveting Reads channel. Me and Jesse are going to join her to talk about this book in depth. So make sure you tune in to that live show. Feel free to message me on Instagram or wherever you can find me, because I would love to talk about this book with you, because it's one of those books that is great to talk about because everybody's going to feel a little bit different. Kind of like Verity. Are you team letter or are you team manuscript? Same things kind of go in here. Do you believe this or do you believe this? And I love that about it. So I'm not going to tell you my star rating, but I really, really liked it. Also because I'm like teetering back and forth between 2 different ratings, if we're being honest. But I really liked this one, and yeah, I can't wait to discuss it with the ladies later this month. We're gonna be grilling tonight. I'm so excited. I have been wanting a burger so bad. yes, a vegetarian burger. So I thought I could go ahead and tell you about the book that I'm going to be reading next, which is The Stranger Upstairs by Lisa M. Matlin. And I'm really excited about this one because it's a supposedly haunted house book, and I have been wanting to read more of those. I'm actually going to be doing a podcast episode in October with Kat from Kat Chats, and we're going to be recommending haunted house books, so I'm really looking forward to that. But let me go ahead and read you the synopsis on the inside to give you an idea of what this book is about. Okay, this one says, most people wouldn't buy an infamous murder house to renovate for fun, but Sarah Slade is not most people. A therapist and self-help writer with all the answers, Sarah has just bought a gorgeous Victorian in the community of her dreams. Turns out you can get a killer deal on a house where someone was murdered. Plus, renovating Blackwood House makes a great blog content and a potent distraction from her failing marriage. Good thing nobody knows that Sarah's past is as tainted as the blood stain on her bedroom floor. But the renovations are fast becoming a nightmare. Sarah imagined custom avocado wallpaper, massive profits, and an appreciative husband who would want to share her bed again. Instead, the neighbors hate her guts, and her husband still sleeps on the couch. And though the builders attempt to cover up Blackwood's horrifying past, a series of bizarre accidents, threatening notes, and unexplained footsteps in the attic only confirm for Sarah what the rest of the town already knows. Something is very wrong in that house. With every passing moment, Sarah's life spirals further out of control, and with it her sense of reality. But as she peels back the curling wallpaper and discovers the house's secrets, she realizes that the deadly legacy of Blackwood House has only just begun. It is much later at night. Daniel just went to bed. I'm about to sit down and read some more, but I did read up to chapter 6, so I'm on page 44 so far, and it's really just setting up them buying the house. It's Sarah and her husband buying the house and kind of telling us the backstory of the murder that went down, or the murders that went down. And I think weird things are starting to happen in the house, like creaking. I think it was a plumber that came out, and something weird happened with him, and then her and her husband were trying to put the wallpaper up, and they left the room and came back and it was all like on the bed. So weird things are starting to happen, but I can also tell that Sarah is hiding something. But also some of the things that she says about being an influencer or being like on Instagram, I don't remember where it was, but it was cracking me up. But anyway, I am going to dive back in. So far, like, I really don't have like that many thoughts on it, obviously, because I just started it. I'm not even 100 pages in, and it was all kind of just set up. So I think we're actually going to get to the meat of the story now, so expect another check-in soon. Quickly wanted to check in. There is a little news excerpt, and it is talking about a body that has been discovered under suspicious circumstances at the Blackwood House, and it is apparently either Sarah or her husband, I'm assuming. And then after that, there's breaking news, this by Whitney, you know, such and such. And she actually interviewed Sarah just before she moved into Blackwood House. And it says, I just reached out to Tim. Sarah left him a chilling voicemail 4 days before the body was found at Blackwood House. And so now that's in June. And then in chapter 9, it goes to May 16th. So I think we're going to be kind of like going back to the beginning to see what led to there being this body in the house. So I'm wondering who it is. And I'm wondering if it's not either of them, if they discovered a body in the house. That's my theory. I won't let you know if I'm right or wrong, but so I think that's the basic setup, and everything from here on out I'll have to kind of keep a secret, but I'll let you know how I'm enjoying it. The writing so far is a little, I don't know, basic, but, and this is an Australian author, and it takes place in Australia, so there's different like birds and things like that that I'm not familiar with. But I'm gonna dive back in and I'll let you know my thoughts and feelings as I continue. I need to apologize to this book and to you guys because I did not do a good job of updating the vlog while reading this book, and I kind of regret it now, but sometimes it just can't be helped. I started it at a weird time. We were in the process of doing dinner, then we watched a show, then I was reading it at night, and initially I wasn't really getting into it. Nothing was happening. I wasn't understanding the story. I just felt so disconnected from what was happening, and when things would be revealed, I didn't really care. And I don't know, it was just such a weird reading experience, and I knew I wanted to finish it. I didn't like dislike it enough to like DNF it, and I'm so glad I stuck it out. And I will say there's a certain point in the book where things shift, and even though when that happened there was something revealed, that I didn't really care because I wasn't invested in the characters or the situation, and I was just still trying to figure out like what in the heck was going on. But let me tell you, I am pleasantly surprised to say that I enjoyed this book. I literally thought I was going to come on here and trash this book, and I was going to feel horrible because I know a lot of people are going to be reading it because it's book of the month. And I don't mind trashing a book like if I think it's trash, but this one is not trash. This one is twisted and kind of brilliant and also sad. So, I mean, I really can't tell you like much, but basically this influencer and her husband move into this house that the previous family, like 40 years ago, the dad killed his wife, and his daughter like ran away like after she got like bashed in the head with a hammer or something like that, like she was trying to get away. So like everybody died. So now you have this influencer and her husband moving into the house, and it's like this very exclusive community. No one wants them to be there. And then just weird stuff starts happening once they're in there. You can tell that there's something going on with the influencer and her husband, like they're not like connected, and she begins to think like he's cheating on her, and her 9-to-5 job isn't going well, and things start going wrong with her cat, and like the neighbors are very like standoffish, hiding secrets. There's lots of secrets, lots of things, but you just have to kind of keep going and push through all that, and then it does kind of all come together as one would expect. So I'm very, very glad that I just kept pushing through and read it because I really enjoyed it. Now, is it a 5-star? No. Is it a 4-star? Maybe. But I think like maybe a 3 also, because I was so disconnected from the story for such a long time. But I also think that the ending really made it up. So like maybe a 4. I don't know. So I'm going to sit on my rating, but basically I can't wait to hear all of your thoughts when you guys pick up this book this season. And now we are on to our last book for this vlog, which I don't even have it in here. Let me go grab it. Okay, we have our last book for the vlog, which is The Many Lives of Mama Love. And this is the memoir and I'm very, very interested. Bestselling author Laura Love Hardin recounts her slide from soccer mom to opioid addict to jailhouse shot caller, and her unlikely comeback as a highly successful ghostwriter in this harrowing, hilarious, no-holds-barred memoir. So I'm very, very interested. A breeze just came through and it feels so nice. Not sure of the temp, maybe I should check that out, but it's actually feeling pretty good out today. Let me look up. I do have the thermometer over there, but let me just check the weather app on my phone, if it will ever load. 81 with a high of 83. Feels good. Okay, so I'm here with a reading update. I have been tandem reading the book, listening to it on audiobook and reading along physically. I made it to chapter 7. The chapter is called Lost Girls, and also the author, the person, it's their memoir, is reading it, and I really love when they do that. It just makes you feel so much more connected to them and like in the story, like they're telling you their story. So it's like you're sitting down with a friend or a stranger and they're just talking to you. So it's really, really nice. So I'm here, page 69, and basically so far she is just talking that she basically has like an addictive personality. It says, reading was my first addiction. When I tell people this today, they laugh and nod as if they understand, as if they too are a part of a secret book addict society where greatest crime is staying up late, a flashlight under the covers, compulsively reading page after page. The strange thing is, no one ever asks me what my second addiction is. And it basically is talking about how she got addicted to drugs and basically her fall from grace. And she has like children, and then I think she's on like her second marriage to this like basically horrible guy. But anyway, sorry, we have some ambiance in the background. I don't see the bird that it is, but there's a couple birds right here, but they're being quiet. Maybe they're listening. Anyway, she is currently in jail, and it's her first time in jail, and she just found out like what's going to happen with her kids and stuff. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. I highly recommend so far. We'll see how it continues, but I imagine it's going to be pretty much the same thing. I am going to take a break. I did just get out of the bath. I like had to shave my legs, and I put on some mascara, and I got dressed. I have a coffee date with a friend at 3:30 today, but right now I'm going to take a break, let my headphones charge, and I'm going to watch the 2-hour episode of Big Brother from last night. So I'm going to go do that, and then I will jump back into my book. Then I'll have my coffee date, and then hopefully read some more. And then tonight on my Patreon, we're doing a diamond painting craft night with Zoe from Zoe Delaney, and I'm just really, really excited to have her on. And the queen of diamond painting can teach us all her tips and tricks on how to have a successful diamond painting night. So really looking forward to that. So it should be a good day, but I'm finally starting this book and I'm really, really enjoying it. This is one of the quiet birds. I don't know where his noisy friend is. This is a view you never see because you're in my closet. But I have a box that I want to put some donation stuff in. like this old like Halloween snow globe, but I got it at home for $19.99, but I'm donating it to Goodwill along with some old mugs and my hand fan, because I told you guys about my hand fan and my summer favorites, and not only did I spill ink on it afterwards, but the thing down here broke. So I ordered a new one, but it served me well for like 10 years and it cost $1. So some old mugs, and this was a Halloween decor piece I've had for a while. I think the rest is honestly clothes. I finished the mini lives of Mama Love last night, and I really enjoyed this memoir. It's probably like a 4 or 5 stars, but sometimes I feel a little bit odd rating a book about someone's like personal experiences and life, especially when it comes to something like this. I'm in the process of doing a million things right now. I'm making breakfast. I'm making breakfast. I have eggs, cheese, bagels going on. But I also need to wrap up this vlog so I can start my next vlog, which is going to be the Sleep When I'm Dead weekend reading vlog. Forgot to put salt and pepper on my eggs. So, and you'll actually have already seen the Sleep When I'm Dead vlog before you see this vlog. I'm just behind on posting and stuff like that, and I usually post on Sundays, but when it's like a readathon, I try to post it like shortly after the readathon so it makes sense. Yeah, I just have so many things coming up. You will have seen the Bookathon announcement, so sometimes there's just a lot going on, y'all. But the mini lives of Mama Love was really good, and I liked how vulnerable she was, and how like her life was obviously like so different than anything I could ever imagine going through. It really shined a light on the justice system and the jail system and just a lot of things that have to do with stuff like that. But she just persevered. She struggled with drug addiction, and she just overcame that addiction, and it wasn't easy, and she relapsed, and she would try again, and she would relapse, and she would try again. And she also, once she finally got to a place, she also like feels like such a giving, caring person. Like she always would talk about the people that helped her get where she was, and was always like such a big supporter of them. Even the women from G Block, she thanked them in the acknowledgements, and I mean, that's just so powerful. So if you're looking for like a new memoir, I know the Jeanette McCurdy one was really popular last year, but I really want this one to get picked up and get a lot of traction because it was just as good. And I will say that the audiobook is narrated by the author, so like by Mama Love herself. And I liked the different chapters, how they had different names, and how as I was reading the chapter, I was always trying to like figure out like, okay, what does this, you know, chapter title mean? So that was just like an extra fun element. But yeah, I would call this a super successful book of the month vlog because I basically liked everything that I read. I would say my favorite, oh, that's hard. I guess I would say if I had to rank them, oh gosh, I guess it would be the Lisa Jewell book. I obviously read that in a span of like 6 hours. I was like obsessed. So that was really good. But then probably Mama Love, and then probably The Stranger Upstairs. But if I was gonna rank the memoir, I would probably rank it like 4 stars or 5. I don't know. Anyway, all I'm gonna say is I enjoyed all of these books, and if you've read them, let me know about them in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts, non-spoilery please. And if you made it this far in the video, leave an egg emoji for my egg and cheese bagel that I'm currently making. And yeah, I'll see you guys again in another video very soon. Bye friends.